is a men's channel with men's content. If that is something that you enjoy watching, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. I am your host, Jeremy Hill, the Gentleman Rogue. Now let's get into it, gentlemen. Modern women, black women in particular, they are charlatans in my personal opinion. They always holler that they want a boss. They don't want a boss, they want a sucker. You want a boss for what? So you can take advantage of him? So you can cheat him? So you can stress him out? So you can marry him, divorce him, take half of his stuff, half of his hard-earned stuff that he worked years to get? You want a boss for what? You're not boss material. You're not the type of woman that a man would want. If you got children outside of wedlock, a boss don't want you. If you got a nasty attitude, a boss don't want you. If you refuse to be feminine, refuse to be submissive to a man who is a leader, a boss don't want you. A boss has standards. You have demands, you don't got standards. And whenever a man speaks upon his standards, you're gonna talk bad about his standards. You're gonna give it a different name. You call a man's standards misogyny. Sorry. See, the problem is, these women talking about a boss, they want a boss because they never had a boss. Because a boss gonna set you straight. A man who making money on top hand over fist ain't got time for your foolishness. You see, let me tell you something about a boss. A boss will reject your foolery, all of your nonsense, all of your BS. A boss don't gotta deal with that. Why? Because a boss has options. A boss has a mindset of abundance. He know if I can't make it work with this chick, I can get another chick because I'm a boss. Women like bosses. They want bosses. And they always will. You know why? Because every woman has a hypergamous nature. Meaning that a woman always wants to marry up, not marry down. She always wants to date up, not date down. Can you dig it? Because that's exactly what it is. When you are a boss, women come to, now think of it like this, gentlemen, ladies too. The men on the football team, the quarterbacks when we grew up in school, they never had a lack of supply of women because they were the boss on the team. Even when you take it to the streets with gangbangers, the OGs, the ones that run things, they are the boss or they are seen as alpha males. They never had a shortage of women. They never do. Dope boys, drug dealers never have a shortage of women because they try to promote themselves to be perceived as bosses. So women, when you come with that BS attitude where you don't want to submit, where you don't want to be friendly or pleasant to another black man, a real boss gonna kick you to the curb. And it's the nerve of these women thinking they can come to you with a whole bunch of emotional baggage and traumas and say they want a boss. Hold on. Hold on, gentlemen. I'm gonna write this right quick. Yes. See, the thing about a boss, what these women don't understand, that they keep saying that they won't. A boss has discernment. A boss has the ability to discern between BS and realness. We can tell when you are being disingenuous. We can tell when you have a hidden agenda. We can tell that you got some kind of hidden intention there because bosses don't get to be bosses without discernment. We can tell what's right and wrong with you, sweetie. You know what I mean? A boss is dismissive of your agenda. A boss is going to be a boss is going to be dismissive of a woman's agenda if it doesn't help him to be a better version of himself. If your agenda is just going to get some Gucci, if your agenda is trying to lock down a man for marriage so that he can carry the whole financial load of marriage and you just sit back on your butt in the house and just look pretty all day, don't want to cook, don't want to clean, don't want to do what he likes to do in the bedroom, want to always complain, never content, even though he got you a nice ride outside, even though he's attentive to your needs, man, ain't nobody gonna pull up with you. That's a fool thinking that, man. Women ain't made for bosses out here. You can be. The only thing that a boss wants in a woman is that she acts like a woman, meaning that she understands her place and understand that she needs to stay in her place. Stop trying to interject your opinions into a man's conversation. If a man is talking to another man, That is not the green light for you to jump into a conversation between two men. You need to shut your mouth, sit back, look pretty, or go some other place and go handle your woman things. When a man is handling the business, see, women don't understand how men do things. Men judge other men based on how they women act towards them. Did you know that, ladies? If a man is dealing with another man, he see he can't run his woman, and I'm not saying being domestically violent, I'm not saying about being disrespectful. I'm against those two things. What I'm saying, when a man see that his woman runs over him, when that man is not living in a patriarchy but in a matriarchy because he allowed that woman to run the household, he loses respect for that man. And that can also cost him business deals, because like, if you can't run your household, how you gonna run a business deal with me? So ladies, you can hurt a man or you can help a man. You gotta learn how to be submissive and feminine. In other words, shut up. Stop complaining all the time. Be appreciative and thankful for the lifestyle that a man is providing to you if he decides to. Because bosses make things happen. Bosses make other men into bosses. Bosses teach men how to deal with these women. Bosses teach men how to come up on the corporate ladder. Bosses teach men how to get that enrollment at their vocational school or trade school, or make recommendations to them that can better their future, like go to the military or go to Job Corps. A boss thinks like that because the boss is always about advancement. That's how his mentality is. He's always thinking about the next thing I can do that's better. What can I do next year that I haven't done this year? How can I better myself next year? Have I reached all my goals this year? That's how bosses think. And a lot of you women don't even think like that. A lot of you women think, okay, you got it, Poppy. You got it, Poppy. No, give it to me. I want that. I want what you have that you work so hard for. Man, shut up. You think your vagina means something to a boss? Your vagina means something to somebody who ain't a boss, someone who's barely making ends meet. Oh, I got me some cat. Oh, she gave me some coochie. A sucker sound like that. That ain't how real men talk. So ladies, you don't know what to do with a boss if you got one. Don't let these people tell you, I want a boss. I want a boss. You don't even know what to do with a boss. Look, a lot of you women don't know what to do with your husbands in marriage. That's why you divorce them. So how you gonna do it? And they were bosses. Sometimes these women divorce bosses because a boss has a certain standard of living. You can't just disrespect the boss, because a boss has a whole lot of self-esteem. And a lot of women don't have self-esteem. That's why they always need you to tell them that they pretty all the dang time. You mean to tell me you don't know you pretty? You don't know if you ugly or fat? Or here's the worst part. A lot of you know you are ugly and fat, but you still lie to yourself and say that you're pretty. What you look like without your makeup and them eyelashes and them hair extensions and all this, waist train, all that stuff. What you look like, that's who you really are. Okay? Everything else is a costume. Like Superman puts a costume on so you won't recognize who he really is on the inside. That's what all that junk is you put on your face, Jezebel. That's what that means, okay? So a lot of you women don't deserve a boss because you don't know how to act with a boss, okay? When you learn that having so many kids out of wedlock is not attractive to a boss, you'll never learn anything else. Until you understand that you have to be submissive and feminine for a boss to want you and to pick you for marriage, you will never understand. Until you understand that a higher education does not qualify you for marriage, you'll never understand. I'm telling you what your daddy should have told you. Or he might have told you, but you was too hard-headed to listen. Well, anyway, gentlemen, if you heard anything in this video that you enjoyed and you think I'm right on anything, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm your host, Jeremy Hill, the Gentleman Road. See you next time.